I always forget to take that off. What is up, guys? I hope everybody is having a fantastic night. I hope y'all can hear me. That would be great. Joe Isabella, what is up? Somebody give me a thumbs up if my voice is coming through. If I need to put on my cold radio voice, I can do that. I just need to know. This is my voice up, one modulation, so I sound more radio like. Aries EDC, what is up? Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody in here. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen tonight. I think if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, but I saw it in one of the group chats that today's Lefty's birthday. And I know he's been doing a lot with the kiddo in the pool with it being so hot. So um we'll call this a sit and spin. We'll hang out, don't have any earth shaking topics. I do have an update on any of y'all that were in Friday Night Flicks last night. When my Paul Mills, I don't think he's in here, but he knows this guy. He's sold him a knife. My best local buddy always lets me borrow knives. And he called me during the live and he was flipping out because I took him back a American made Pulse OTF because I featured several of them on the channel the last few days leading up to the drop. And he was like, dude, my American certificate of authenticity isn't in the box. I was like, dude, it never was. What's up, Mayor Salt? Like, I never saw it. The only way I could tell the one that John from EMP let me borrow and the one that you're American, besides the fact they look radically different, yours is longer, was the CEO or the certificate of authenticity. The one I knew was John's had run number 2 on it, and yours didn't. I didn't see any American flag. He's like, "Oh, dude, I had it right on top so you could lose it, or so you could use it, and so I could lose it." So anyway, I was looking for it last night while I was looking for the cat. Scotch and Things was having to hold the fort down because I'll go into this like ADHD tailspin thinking, I know I didn't see it, but did it maybe fall out? Because I always cut shit paper in my and if Aries EDC's in here, dude, before you leave, I'm the one that wrinkled up your certificate of authenticity on the bloom. When it came in, I showed it on the unboxing. I had it out, and this is what I try not to do, and I've only done it once, but I'm gonna just air it all out here. I cut some paper with that knife. The bloom and any of Aries EDC knives are fantastic little blades. As soon as I get back to work, I'm gonna be getting one. So anyway, I sliced paper, went through the unboxing, talked about how impressive I was, and then scooped up the paper that I had sliced up and took it over and just dropped it in my little trash can by my table is all paper because that's all I cut. And I'll cut some cardboard. So anyway, I was looking for the certificate of authenticity and couldn't find it. And I went and I said, surely not. And I looked in there and the damn thing, I don't have an iron. I've got this little steamy thing that I can steam my work clothes with to make the wrinkles go out. But if I had an iron, I would have ironed that card, Scott. I apologize, dude. But if it came back wrinkled, of all the people that had it, I'm the one that wrinkled it up because I almost threw it away. Kathleen Smith, what is up? Good to see you, channel member. We got Marco, channel member, in here. We've got Aries in here. We've got Joe Isabella. RB up, brother. This piece right here, I don't know if y'all can see it glowing because I've got lights on it. But if the light was off because it's under a black light, another light, it glows like an SOB. It looks awesome. Arkansas EDC channel member, what is up, brother? We got my man Colby is in the house. We got Richard Kasner in the house. What is up, guys? Aries, sit tight for 1 second so I can give you a wrench. And every now and then, all the wrenches will fall off. But I do want all of you guys to have access to share your links. Aries, Scott, share your channel, share your let's see, share your social links, share somebody else's links. Y'all feel free to use with great responsibility, or with great power comes great responsibility. So all I ask is that you use your moderator status responsibly, not to put people in timeout unless they put you in timeout first. Shane. But please feel free to post y'all social links. Get your channel out there, get your Instagram out there. My Instagram, for some reason, and I think it's because I don't post there much. When I first started, it was growing like crazy. I was on Instagram long before I was on Facebook, or it's not Facebook, but that was a Freudian slip. But before I was on YouTube, and I had a personal Instagram account because I liked it better than Facebook. I was on Facebook doing the thing that we all do as parents, following our kid, doing that kind of crazy shit. And Instagram, I started when I got into the knife hobby. I started posting a lot of knife pics, like hand just hold a knife, right? And I had all these people that were following J.W. Evans or J. Evans 1999, my personal Instagram, that were like friends of the family, friends of mine. And they were like, "What's going on, dude? With your knives?" I was like, "I'm not even going to have this conversation as I move forward." So I started my Instagram knife channel or page. It was just a sub page of my regular channel, and started just uploading a lot of knives because during the whole way that I got into this was from watching videos during, I guess, before lockdown and during lockdown, and starting to kind of rekindle my love of knives and starting to buy a lot of knives. I mean, I literally fell in the rabbit hole to where I had, before I started a channel, 4 cases. I've got the review videos in a playlist, or not the review, the collection dive, and I'm getting ready to start. Let's see if I can find this thumbnail. I'm getting ready to start the fixed blades, my EDC fixed blades, the part of my collection, which is really a huge part. And if you guys see these little flies flying around my head, I've been wasting them. They're too small to shoot with my bug assault. I don't know what they are, but they're absolutely tiny and they're driving me absolutely crazy. But I'm going to show you guys, and I don't know if you'll be able to make this out. Let's see if I can download it real quick. Give me 1 second, and then we will talk about knives, and I'll get back into the chat. And I promise that's what I was going to do tonight because I really like the solo aspect of being able to try to have communications and chats with you guys. Um, but I always get sidetracked and I want to show y'all stuff, share cool stuff with y'all. And it's, it always goes into a train wreck to where I'm talking to myself, which I do pretty well. I'm pretty, I do that all the time making videos. So I'm going to download this as a JPEG just so I can share it with you. And then I want to hopefully zoom on it so I can show you what it is. Let's see. We'll call it fixed blade dump. All right, so I'm going to try to pull up a picture that is going to be the thumbnail of, let's do this. Let's share this picture. Oh, I got to open it first. Never mind. I forgot. Sorry, guys. And I had to print a label for Jim Miller. He won the member giveaway last night. And because everybody voted and we just pulled off the member list, which is a good way to do it. Jim had already checked out for the night, but he was really stoked. But I couldn't get my printer to print today. So I had to go, not had to go, I had to sit there and fuck with it. And it was just a pain in the ass. And then all I had to do was unplug it, plug it back in, which I should have done first. Where did I put that? What did I name it? I just named it something and dropped it in here. Fixed blade. That's what it was. I want to show you where this starts because if you see the little case behind me that's got a slip joints and maybe, I don't know, maybe a drawer and a half, maybe 2 drawers, but all the bottom drawers are just chunked full of tiny little fixed blades. So the point of the matter is, I don't know how many videos it is going to actually be, but this is the thumbnail. So I don't know if y'all can tell what this is. Let me see if y'all are even seeing that because I don't know if I'm seeing it. Yeah. So what that is if you look at the left side, those are 2 hooks. That's that Benchmade, or not Benchmade, the Blade HQ ridiculous knife tool roll that hangs on your door. There's 148 slots in there. That are full of small fixed blades. So, you can do the math. So I've kind of thought I could break it down into 6 videos, um, just to have them all categorized, right? That's the only reason I'm doing it. I've had people ask if I do it. It'll change tomorrow. That's part of it. I'm always looking to trade knives. And Rody 7420, what is up, brother? I don't think you are a moderator. Hold on. You are a standard moderator now, sir. You can share your links. You can share your friends' links. You can protect yourself if someone puts you in timeout. Grizzly Bear, you are also a moderator. I want it to be all fair. And like I say, you guys will come in here one night and everybody, Ed, you're a moderator, and everybody will have lost their mod status. It happens. YouTube just does that from time to time. So all you have to do is tell me. And we will, if no one has abused their status, which so far no one has except Shane, but Shane's a personal friend, so he kind of gets a pass. I've got to give Shane a pass because he and I go way, way back. He's one of the first guys actually I met in the community in Grateful Panic's live stream. And he's the guy who helped me, along with Kevin, who was a huge help, put together Nas Live. It was kind of a Grateful Panic thought. He kind of came up with it. And then we decided if we're going to do a 24-hour stream and instead of doing super chats, have everybody do something that helps the community. And then we collected from manufacturers. We've done it 2 years. We didn't do it last year because we were doing something for Brother Brown. Hopefully, we'll do it this year. But we reach out to manufacturers, to people that are in the position to donate really nice prizes. And we were lucky to get 5, just amazing packages that we put together. Lefty and I put the packages together. And all you had to do to enter or to have an entry was to go and do a $5 donation to Knife Rights would get you an entry, or you could do a $25 membership to kniferights.org and it would get you 6 entries. So you got a little break if you got the membership. Then you get caught up on all the Knife Rights things, what they're fighting. You can donate as it affects you and stuff like that. But it worked out really good. The first year we raised, I want to say 5,800. The second year we raised like 7,800. And the best part about it was we as organizers only had to put together, and now it's easy with as many people who have channels who are willing to jump in. I did the 4 o'clock slot, 2 o'clock, or twice in a row, and this is before I posted anything except shorts. I hadn't done live streams before. My first live stream was with Kyle Red Wolf on the first Knives Live. And Blades and Fades was with us and Hawaiian Knife Guy. And we had a blast at 4 o'clock in the morning. The second year is when I got really close with Pocket Metal, which was 2022, because Stevie, Pocket Metal, they were like at the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I was at the 4 o'clock slot. And we ended up guesting on each other's shows, and we stayed together for like 4 hours, because what would happen is everybody would move from one live to the next live. And it was a really cool thing. And it worked out really well. And I felt bad that we didn't do it last year, but there's a lot of planning that goes in, and there were other things that took precedence. What's up, Knife Nut? And anybody I missed, Richard? I know I've missed a lot of y'all because I've just been talking. But yeah, Knife Nut. And that's how I kind of really found out about what they actually do, because through that, I met, and the Nashville Knife Show first is I'd met him before, but I had a long conversation with Doug Ritter. Shane and I were together, and we sat down with Doug and kind of learned how Knife Rights works, because for the longest time, I'm a digital marketer by trade. And one of the things that I do for companies is I'll look at their Google Analytics or their back end. Chris, thank you, brother. Been a member for 6 months. Dude, you don't know how much I appreciate it. Let me get to my I don't know if you can hear that or if I'm gonna stick with that, but it's one of those things. But what it is I found out, I'm trying to come up with a sound for when people do extra cool shit. But when I found out that it's just he and 2 other guys who have to anytime something comes up for vote or something comes up to where they have to be there to stop it or to make sure it passes, they're not given a month's notice. They find out through their plants like 24 to 48 hours before it happens. So they literally have to stop everything they're doing and pay the most expensive plane ticket to fly to Washington State or to fly to Virginia to be there the next day for the hearing or whatever's happening. And he was telling me that the Ritter RSK, which I'm getting ready to do, I don't think I've ever done a review. I know I've done the RSK, and I know if y'all watch MC, he uses this knife as his griptilian sized comparison knife because these are the exact same size as the grip and the mini grip. I've got a Mel Pardue mini grip that I'm going to use in that video, but Doug was integral. That's the wrong word. He was instrumental in designing and developing the mini grip pillion. So when he broke his, when Benchmade didn't want to make it anymore, he was able to take it to Hogue. And I think he really approved on it or really improved on it. Well, the weird thing is, it was weird to me because I was new to the community, is you can only get these at Knife Works. When I got my first one, it was $160 when a Benchmade would cost you 200, $190. The Benchmade was at the time S30. This is 20 CV. It's perfectly sharp OEM by Hogue, and it has really nice G10 sculpted, not sculpt, well, it's contoured, but also grippy handles. Really nice spring. It's a great knife. The bottom line is all the proceeds from this knife, the reason it's only sold through Knife Works, are what is really Doug's income right now because everything he does for Knife Right, I forget what they called it, not a 501c, but it's literally he and two young attorneys that fly around the country and go to all the shows to make sure that all the makers are supporting, which all of them do because it makes sense for any of us who are in the knife community. I live in Alabama, a state that's pretty backwards in most 99% of what they do, but their knife laws are very open, right? I can do pretty much whatever I want to as long as I'm not hurting anybody else. But that's why I'm a big supporter of Doug Ritter and I'm a big supporter of knife rights. And it was a whole lot of fun because I made it, I want to say 22 hours. I fell asleep from like 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. But a lot of people made it the whole 24 hours. I think there were 8 people that were in every live stream. And there was a giveaway at every live stream. So everybody, every creator who had a live stream had a knife that they gave away during that live stream just as a regular giveaway. So there were 24 giveaways through the Knives Live. But then like 3 weeks later, because we let people continue to, all you had to do was send in, because if you make a donation to Knife Rights, they send you, whether you do it on PayPal or however, they send you a receipt via email. They had to send us that receipt. That's what I used to create a spreadsheet. And if they sent us a membership, they got 6 entries for that spreadsheet, right? So we never touched any cash. It was all straight to Knife Rights. And when I did my math, because when I recorded everybody's $5 donation or $25 membership, or some people donated bigger chunks because if you donated $100, you'd get 20 entries. And I mean, there are some prize packages. The prize packages averaged around 4,300, I think, per package, because the makers and manufacturers were super, super supportive. Um, but yeah, it was a cool thing. We need to do it again. It was a lot of fun. And again, it helped Doug out because my math and their math was off by like $100 that I was lower than they were. But see, he cross promoted it through a lot of what he does in terms of promoting through the knife. Like if we go to his website now, it's probably still on there unless he took it off because we didn't do anything last year. And I was going through losing my job. Let's see. having it eliminated and doing some life changes stuff, and I just kinda was not in the mindset to tell him why and he knew why we were focusing on Brother Brown and his family and why I didn't have the brain power to do both, but I urge you guys to follow Knife Rights. They've got an app called Legal Blade. It's an, iPhone app. It's also a, Android app, and you can download it at the App Store, at the iPhone store, and you can use it. It'll find you by map or whatever, or you can go in and you can put in your state. It'll tell you how to do. I mean, it's just an awesome app. It's free, costs you nothing. It ties you into knife rights. So if you don't use a computer much, um, I'm a big supporter. I've got Legal Blade, even though I don't use it a lot. But for example, it'll show you where you have gray area in the law because they've gone through their legal team or whoever their source of all the information that they do their stuff from. Um, let's see if we can find, like, it even tells you what to do if arrested. So it tells you pretty much it's set up for people like you or people like manufacturers or anyone who wants to own a knife and protect, some semblance of here. See, here was our 24-hour live stream. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that was, let's see what year that was. That was 2022. We did it in 2021. I don't know if they promoted it, but it was a huge success. We did not do it last year. Hopefully, and Shane and I have talked about it loosely. Lefty's got a lot going on with the new baby coming, and I can't stress to you guys how much he did because he pulled together because he's got relationships. Tony Boombots, the man, the myth, the legend. I was sending out some giveaways today, and this is my last Tony Boombot sticker, and I can't give it away. Um, I've got to find a place to stick it. But he and I got to meet each other and spend about probably 30 minutes together at walking around Blade Show. Blade Show is such a bizarre place to try to. It's great to see people. If when I was there for 3 days, and it didn't seem to happen as much this year, maybe because it wasn't as crowded, but everyone would gather at the top of the escalator. So anytime you walk between halls, there would always be a group of people sitting at the tables and the chairs, kind of holding the fort down there so anybody could stop by and sit because your legs get tired. But Tony and I got to spend about 30 minutes, 20 minutes walking around, talking. It was awesome. But so, yeah, what did I want to show you guys? One thing really cool I wanted to show you guys is I've been experimenting, and I don't think this video's come out yet, with skiff thick washers. So thick washers are made for the same size that the bearings that most knives run on and skiff bearings come in, and they're thick, which means you don't have to use a series of washers to make them line up. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but that's perfectly dead nut centered. That's a Civivi Baby Banter. Used to run on little, I want to say they were 5 millimeter. That's the pivot diameter or the pivot size. And these are 5 millimeter, same thickness washers. So it's got a super tight tolerance. It doesn't have the fall shut that it had before. But if you've kind of gotten like I have, where you've started to like and understand a Chris Reeves knives or a Strider knife or a Benchmade or a Spyderco that we've all kind of gotten used to not having bearings. But and if you work in an environment like my buddy Dark Gravity does, y'all's buddy, a steel industry where you've got a lot of metal filings, you have no gaps between these washers and the blade, i.e., frame. And I got to use my Slickamall, which I'm on my second tube now. I really recommend Justin Slickamall for any of your washer knives. But today, you'll see a video coming up next week sometime where I took my Hinder XM18
off of thick washers and put it back on bearings because I like to change it up. I'm pretty sure that all my Protex or most of my Protex are on phosphorus bronze washers. I know my Strider is on phosphorus bronze washers because I've taken it apart and I just failed it. And then I've gotten to Kaiser really stronged up and sent me out a couple of little knives to check out. I sent him a sob story email, not a sob story, just that, I have, if you watch my collection video, you'll see that I still refer to my orange Apache case as my Kaiser case. When I first got into the collection, long before I had a channel, I bought way more Kaisers than I did Civivis. I had a lot of Civivis, had a lot of Kaisers, had a lot of QSPs. I've run through all of those knives. But I was always a fan of Kaisers, so much so that I started collecting I think they were called the Blade series. They were called some series. They were the ones that were the titanium with S35V in. I've given them all away as member giveaways, except for my Matthew Christensen full size critical. But I had like the T1. I'm trying to think of some others. One by Eliza Isham. But anyway, the original sheepdog, when I first noticed Kaiser at my local knife store, St. Nick's, it was titanium, but it looked like this. The micarta one did, but you could not see the cutouts, those 3 dots. This is Chris Conway, I think's the designer from Sheepdog Knives. This one doesn't have a flipper. It's the flipper hole only, and it's the mini, and it's a button lock. And I don't know if I've told you guys this, but it's 154 cm. It's got great detail. And I think the review comes out tomorrow, or my overview, because I've had them before. This is the third one. I had 2 micarta ones, a full size and a mini. But this thing right now is on sale at 50% off if they're still in stock. Let me see. It's less than $50, and it's aluminum and 154 cm. And the action on it's great. I don't think they make the full size sheepdog in a button lock. I don't know if y'all can see that, but if you go, Kaiser's moving out a lot of their stuff right now, and I do have an affiliate link. You don't have to use it. See, this is a titanium, but that's not it. It's got the flipper. This is it right here, $48. Normally it goes for $96, but this is that little knife that I was just showing you guys. Has great, great, great detent, has 26 positive reviews, 50% off right now. I can absolutely vouch for it. Again, this is my 3rd sheepdog, but my point was I quit buying them just because I had to not spend as much money on budget knives or value knives so that I could buy and save up for the knives that I started kind of getting into, right? So it's kind of one of those weird, you have to kind of put your money where your passion is. I still like those knives. I was just not an active buyer, but I still want to be able to show them because I know how many people do buy them, do use them. Because they're great knives. I mean, literally, I could get by with Kaiser knives all day long and not need anything else. I mean, it's simple. I mean, we have so many things that we don't need. Here is my Kaiser affiliate link if you guys want to go look at that $48. They also have the drop bear. This one is 30% off. And I've been really impressed with this. I was late to the game on it, but this is also aluminum handles. And it is, I think, $83. I was kind of blown away by the quality. I mean, they always had really good quality, but they've been raising the bar. I hope I get to try out some more of their stuff because I can't allocate dollars. At some point I can, and when the channel starts generating revenue, I can use some of that money to buy budget knives because I know more people watch the budget knives because I did than the higher end knives just because I'm into them. But if I don't like something or don't feel passionate about it, I make kind of lame videos anyway. So I've got to be pumped up. I've got to be excited about it. And it also makes for great giveaway stuff. Um, that's why, and when I talk to the companies at Blade Show, that's the way that the game works. I will make videos. I have to be able to give my objective thoughts, right? Paul Mills, what is up, brother from another mother, channel member? We were talking about you earlier, buddy, all in a good way. But I'm not the kind of guy that would burn a knife for clicks. If I have a relationship with the maker, I would reach out to them, let them know I found problems with it. Did they want to send me another one? Did they want me to make a video pointing it out and let the community know what they were going to do about it? And I probably, if worse came to worse, wouldn't make a video because I'm not into making negative videos. If anybody asked me about it, no, dude, I would have stayed there too. I'm sitting here battling these little tiny flies that are too small for me to shoot with my my little blast of salt thing. But yeah, it was kind of nuts. But that's kind of what I've been battling with, is trying to get companies to understand that if you go back and you look at my videos, because I made a lot of long form content over the last year and a half, but I was going through my collection before I gave it away. I've got a lot of budget knives. I mean, because that's what I had. That's what I existed through for 2 years. So I mean, I've literally lived the weirdest knife addiction life just in the last 3.5 years. Um, they are. I think that's what they are. They're gnats. And when they walk, like if I had my gun, I want to get my gun because I could blast one right now. Hold on a second. I will be right back. I'm just grabbing my gun. I should clarify that for when I have to appeal this, it's not a gun. It is a salt dispenser that dispenses salt through CO2 at a very high rate to where at about 6.5 feet, I was able to, and I've got a short somewhere where I blasted a wasp, and I mean, like it blew it apart. It has got some power. So when this gnat lands again on that little remote control or on that pole, I will blast it. You can't shoot your TV with it, or you can't shoot things like that because it does. It's like a shotgun. If I took it when I used to have a laser sight on it, but you had to sight it in for different distances. So if I use the regular sights, I'm a lot better. And that's what I need to get. Or you can use a bowl with honey vinegar and saran wrap. I've heard there are different ways to set up traps for them. They just, I mean, they must have just drained. I mean, they must have just come around because they hatched or something. Because I've noticed them the last couple of few days. But the great news is this little shredder, they've got them on Amazon. They also have a Crossman that uses the exact same ammo, which you can buy these from Bug Assault. These are just little revolver with salt and paper on each side. And I mean, it is very powerful. But yeah, I've thought about getting some kind of little trap to suck them up. But at the same time, I just noticed them. I hadn't even had time to get out and mess with them, and they don't really fuck with me until I noticed them last night, and they're really quick. When they land, they're vulnerable, but like when they fly and I try to squish them, it's just like, I might as well be trying to keep a cat from scratching me. I have not bought bananas lately. Now, fruit flies, I had a few of those. Those are the perfect size for this. If I shoot a fruit fly, I just have to go wipe the sheetrock because it literally it'll vaporize it. Now, a big fly like a house fly, if it gets in, there's a body left, but it's a one and done shot. Um, they are they also make a bug assault that's a pump that's kind of lame. I say that because people have told me, and if you watch the videos, it doesn't look that powerful. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Whoops. And I recommend anybody, if you've got bugs around your house and you're a boy like I am, this is one of the greatest investments. Cause and I've even had people say, well, you shouldn't be hunting them outside. I'm like, well, why? Because I'll go outside and I'll hunt them. So like here are the little things that I buy for my pistol, but these right here, they're spring activated. Eh, they're not all that. But then if you find the shredder, and if I search for shredder, you'll see that they make a much lesser, but like a $20 less. Here's the shredder, like I got. Now that was a starter kit. It came with like a bunch of salt. Yeah, it's expensive, but it was worth it. It came with CO2. I use it all the time. People love it. Um, but if you want to get one a lot cheaper, this Vigilante, this Crossman Vigilante is who makes the shredder. And if you notice that little black plastic piece that you can put 177 pellets in is the exact same piece is that right there. So the point is you can buy the Vigilante, some CO2 cartridges, and then buy you, I would only say get one, maybe 2 packs of these because you can reload them. There are different ways on Etsy. They make a little, and I've got them. They make some little tape things that you can just put on the front and on the back, and you just dump your salt in there because that's all it is it's salt between paper. But it is a banger. I could recommend it to anybody. If I had it to do it again, I would have probably gone with this because it's got a shorter barrel, and I had to modify my shredder because it's got a little thing in the barrel. See that little like a vertical piece of plastic? The barrel's right above that little revolver stick. So you can see how it's got that plastic vertical thing. That's to make sure the salt busts up like a shotgun. Well, sometimes you want the salt to have a little punch. So I broke that out. And if you get the Daisy or the Crossman, whatever it is, you don't have to deal with that because it's just it's a full on barrel. But those are the exact same size, the same everything, which means you can shoot BBs out of your bug assault if you want to. But that was a lot of talk about nothing. No, I never do. And they even say, and I've thought about messing with Tippy with it, but I thought that'd be cruel because I used to make her chase the laser. She gets bored with laser. She will just immediately look at the laser and then follow it to whatever it's pointing at. And then she'll just look at you like, you idiot. So, yeah, something will land here in a second and I'll be able to blast it because this thing it packs a punch. You figure it's the CO2. Um, I'll go ahead and just shoot it across the room. Check this out. I need a new CO2 cartridge, but it blew salt out. I make a mark when I start it over here. So it's about halfway through that cartridge. I think you get 12 shots per each one. Michael, it's awesome, buddy. It is an absolute, it's a win. But I can tell if something lands, I'm going to be hosed. So let me grab a CO2 cartridge real quick. Y'all don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Yeah, I can tell you, there's nothing worse than having a shot at something with your salt and not having the CO2. I probably get 20, maybe 20 shots. I've never been all of mine like when I was a kid, and even the one I bought recently, I bought a Benjamin pump air rifle, pellet rifle, because I had one as a kid and they stopped making them because they're all, I guess they're like compressed air now, not CO2 cartridges, but like air compressors. Um, I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was my old CO2 cartridge, which was pretty much done. I opened it too fast. So we'll put a fresh one in there. Now it's sealed up. Now, anything that lands, have mercy on its soul. Because that thing is just ready to go. That is Mike Jernak. And again, I would urge anybody who's interested, if you search on Amazon for Bug Assault Shredder and you don't buy this one because it's more expensive and you buy the Crossman Vigilante and then just buy some of the salt, I would only buy one pack because then you can reload them. But it'll shoot the Crossman Vigilante for about $60 will shoot the exact same ones. Absolutely, always. You've got to prepare, especially when you're in Alabama, because you just never know what's going to fly up against you. I mean, my doors, I have storm doors and I keep the storm door open, like no closed, but I keep it the regular door open so Tippy can look out and I can see her when she comes in or whatever. But there's no windows open, and somehow I'll get flies in here. It's just nuts. So when they're in here and I can hear them buzzing around, I will sit there and just wait. It's like when I was a kid in a duck blind, waiting, waiting kind of by the window, waiting by the storm door for when I hear it kind of bumping against it. And I will just go rain down hell on it. I mean, I will just know nothing but pure destruction. Flies wear me out. So, what did everybody to carry today? We'll do that. There are not that many of us in here. I've got to send this back and I'm having the hardest time. I thought about putting my pulse in the box and acting like it was a mistake, but I couldn't do that with John. By the way, he is going to stop in next Friday Night Flicks, EMP EDC, and talk about some projects he's got coming up that are really cool, with some different variations. And I carried my Streamlight. I always keep it locked out, and I just use the little tapper. And then I carried my field. Oops. Dwayne Letterman, what's up? And then I carried my Feel Good. I've got 2 Jack Wolves. I've got one that I'm going to get to check out that'll be here Monday. It actually teased me and acted like it was going to be here today, and then it didn't show up. It wasn't supposed to be, but it just teased me. And then I carried in an Oak City slip in my back pocket my little Cancunly sharpened Magna Cut Chickadee. I'm still a big fan in Jacob Creates and how he makes his knives, and how he heat treats them, and how he quenches them. It's good to see you, Dwayne Letterman, channel member. Really good to see you, buddy. But yeah, so that's what I carried. What'd you kids carry? I've got a slingshot by the door. Paul Mills carried his Evo 3.0 and his bug out. I've always got my bug out, my mini bug out because I use them as size comparison knives. I should carry them more. Again, I was very late to the party on this Kaiser clutch lock. Looks like a bug out, looks like a knife, but it's called the Drop Bear. And guys, this thing is good. I took the scale off when I did the review, which is coming up, just off one side, and it ships with the clutch lock in the tightest position. So it's got 5 little holes where you can adjust the detent. I love my bug out. Don't get me wrong. This is a little bit thicker, but they make these in a lot nicer, like in Elmax. I think they make them in different finishes. And that one's $83. Colby had the Artisan Proponent. That is a big knife. I had the mini and it was huge. Angelo had the Tau S. I had a Tau S. That's one of the knives I finally let go. I don't know why. I think it was the thick grind. I thought about having it reground, but I've got the Padre just did it for me. I think the Padre. And if y'all want to talk grief, drama, I don't know if you've been and looked, but this knife has been dropped now with a X-Lock, which is their version of a bar lock, which to me is an abomination because I've asked them time and time again. The Django, which is a cool looking knife, I totally wrote it off my list when I saw it was X-Lock only. I was like, please make that knife in a frame lock because you guys do frame locks better than anybody or as well as anybody I know. And then they went and made this in a X-Lock, which, don't get me wrong, they are smooth. They just have no detent, zero, none. And this is a stronger set of springs. That's got magnets in it. It's not, it's just, and then I've got an X towel and a regular towel, a big towel. So that is like a screen door being blown open by the wind, to quote Grateful Panic. Thumb studs, but it's just not snappy. Then I get my regular towel, my OG towel. I hate front flippers, but this has actually got detent. It feels better. It sounds better. You get them open, they're the same freaking knife. That's why I would just love to see, and maybe the Django will come out as a frame lock. I think if they're going to do the Padre, probably one of the best knives that they've done, the best knife that they've done, as a X-Lock. I just, and I have to take into consideration that I'm probably one of those few people where I'm sure there's a large amount of knife people who like to just be able to flip a knife open, who don't want to have to hit a thumb stud, don't want to reverse flick it. They just want to give it a flick. I can get that, I guess. It's just not my jam. Angry Tom's hat. Oh, dude, I had a mini pyrite. Was it the Warncliffe? It wasn't the regular pyrite, but I had a little aluminum mini pyrite for about a month, 2 months before I gave it away. That was super fidgety, little button lock. El Cap Addict had his bailout in his 940, and I missed probably a lot of Chris Warren's bought, channel member of PM2 Salt, Daniel Defense Splinter, CJRB Pyrite, Lite Tempest Microburst, and Vosteed Acorn. Dude, that's so good. And Rody carried his XM18 3.5 hologron slicer. That is sweet. Sweet, sweet. Let's see. Okay, then there's our S towel, so we're caught up there. Going back down. Yeah, the blade, mini pyrite. The pyrite's a great knife. I like the Echo. I had both of those. I bought both of those because I did want to. When I see a knife, when I was working and I had income, and I had good income, but when I'd see a knife that was a budget knife that interested me, I had no problem buying it because I knew I was going to be able to review it and then give it away. Sweet smock knives, big Spyderco tie scales, and a dark purple. I was thinking about what's up. Let me get that. I was thinking about some mods that I could do, and I've got so many different scale sets. Like on my smock, which I don't have with me. Yeah, I do. Once I put titanium scales on a knife, I rarely go back. And this is my smock, and these are just Lite titanium scales. I took the secondary D10 out. Love this knife, but I've got some G10 smock scales that are black that are fantastic scales. They're textured. They're smock originals. I thought about putting them back on. I think I've got some micarta, and I just need to go through and see what other. I gave away most of my TRM scales because I put like on my Atom. I probably had 5 sets of scales. I gave those away to a guy who had an Atom because I had titanium scales. But I know I've got scales for my Axon, my Vero, but they're G10. I'm not really crazy about them, but I need to do some more kind of swap some mods, and I don't want to mod stuff back to original. That doesn't do it for me. Turn some of my cutlery shops. Gratian, what is up, buddy? You had a fucking killer carry today, my man. I was drooling over it. What is up, Greer? Greer. Is the R silent? Dringed. Auf Deutsch? No? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were just doing pocket check, seeing if anybody had anything sharp and shiny in their pocket. Yeah, the pyrites are so good. Yeah, the Hinderers, I don't have one out tonight. I'm a huge fan of Hinderer. I wasn't, and that's why I always say in live streams more because I don't do a lot of just rambly videos, but I do ramble, as you guys know, way too much here. I'll eventually probably get canceled for it, but I've always said things like, "I'm not interested in fixed blades." I'm just not. I'm not going to spend over $70 for a knife. Flip joints don't interest me. They didn't for years. I wouldn't even look at them. I had no interest, not even in Jack Wolf's. Not until the low drag came out, and I forgot it was actually the Ohio River Jack, Austin's knife at Traditional Pocket Knives was the first slip joint I bought. But I went down a deep fixed blade rabbit hole that I'm still descending in. I'm not buying a lot of slip joints now, but I used to never like autos. I swore I never understood the allure of a hinderer. When I was 2 years in collecting, I just didn't get it. I didn't get a Strider. I got my first hinderer, which was a 3-inch XM18 that I picked up from Dark Gravity. I actually handled it at a blade show that we went to when we were sitting around the truck hanging out with knives, and I was like, it's fine, nothing major. This is a Skinner blade, battle black." So he said, "Why don't you just carry it for a while?" And I did. And now I've got like 9 in my collection because I love them. But I used to never even consider them something I'd look at. Same with it's just weird. I think if you're open-minded through your journey, you're going to be better served to find kind of cool stuff that you might not normally find. Um, that would be my only advice to people is you can hate it today, not understand it. I look at it like I just didn't get it, or my dopamine wasn't firing off those items to reduce it to the ridiculous. And slip joints don't get me real excited right now. Fixed blades do. This is an interesting fixed blade right here. This is gonna be, I don't know if y'all know who Countycom is, but I'll buy a lot of my, titanium gear, my weird little EDC type stuff, some of my little containers and whatnot from Countycom, and they're a new affiliate of mine, and they are now selling Vosteed, and they're doing some stuff like this, which isn't necessarily my jam because it's a little bigger, but this is an 8-inch knife that's very, very thick, full tang construction. It's D2. It's got a very thin G10 handle on it. I want to say it's a little over 8 inches. Super slicey. Feels really good in the hand. And it's like 64 bucks. Nice jimping. Again, it's bigger than what I normally carry. It comes with that sheath. And it came with one of those tech locks. I'm not a big fan of those. I think they're too big and bulky. So I took it off and put straps on it. But I'm glad to see them doing that. The other thing they're doing is this is an exclusive Vosteed that you can get from them, and it comes with this little light. It's nothing fancy, but they're basically just giving you a free light. You can take the little diffuser cap off it if you want to. But I've never been a big Ultim fan, but looking at this, where you can see how well it's put together and how minimal the steel actually is being utilized there. And you can see when you look at this one that it's also got an adjustable. It's got 1, 2, 3. See those little gear shifting looking things? Right now it's on the loosest spring tension that there is. If I were to put it in that middle slot, it would be tighter. If I were to put it in the front slot, it would even be tighter. So that'll be something we'll probably do on this one. I gave away the other Vosteed that I had last night. I had a mini one of these that I picked up right after Blade Show because the Nightshade with the flipper hole was one of my favorites. I gave it away on a Friday Night Flicks, and then I picked up the mini. Really, really like it. It's just a great knife to carry, super thin. What do you call it? A shilling cutter blade. Works very well for breaking down boxes, for doing your minimal EDC stuff. And this Ultim is super light. I mean, I had the G10 before and it was really light. But that shipped out today to, I want to say Blade Walker. I think Blade Walker won that last night. And then Jim Miller won the Kaiser Veritas. So, guys, on Friday nights, even though I'll never put it in a title and I don't publicize them because I'm not trying to bring people in for giveaways, I just want somebody to win. That's a rule. If you win a giveaway and nobody knows you and I don't know you, we've had several things happen, and having a channel, I'm tied in with other people through chat groups that have channels. We catch up. We find out when people are gaming the system. And they're people, we don't know them, but they're people that are gaming the system in a big way that was just literally uncovered that they won probably 12 giveaways in the last 4 weeks, from everybody from Metal Complex to JD for EDC to Tri-State to, and it's a system where they've got probably an automated type of bot system that runs about, they even won one of JB's giveaways, a number game, because the bot would guess, when you looked at it, the patterns and numbers were mathematical. So they might do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I mean, just, and different people, and they were all tied together because the address all went, this winner address all went to a proxy before it was shipped overseas. So the person who was doing it, somebody from overseas who's probably never in the chats. Palmer Conley, member for 4 months. Thank you, brother. Where's my Kung Fu gong? I appreciate you, bro. So that's one thing we can do is I will very rarely go to a video, or leave a comment in a video, or I'll announce it during the live like we did last night. Or member videos are different because they're not seen by everybody, right? They're not seen by just Joe Blow person who's out there searching giveaway, who's trying to use different ways to scam giveaways from the makeup industry. That they don't care where it comes from, because in 10 times out of 10, they're just going to flip it. So that's one thing that I never want to come off as an ass. And I know there are a lot of people that lurk, but like Kathleen, if she ever won something, if she hadn't mentioned a word in chat, we know Kathleen, we know Palmer, we know Paul. I don't have, and I'm blessed that I have the same people that come back and hang out. We have a good group, and I'm not in any kind of, I don't have a goal to like get more people here. S.A. Yeager, what's up? Yeah, I'm not, I just don't want to bring people in to win something where they're taking a chance from somebody that's here anyway. To me, it's just kind of different. So what's up, Gerst? Welcome, welcome. So that's just how I do it. And I'm different. You know, I made a video, and it's still, I don't know what kind of reaction it's gotten, because I don't like to read a lot of hateful comments, but it was just a video on why I don't do milestone giveaways. I've had a lot of people ask me, and most of them have been creators. They're not like viewers or you guys. I never say, you know, let's get to 1,000, let's get to 2,000, we'll do a giveaway. I'll do giveaways when I had 200 subscribers. I was doing giveaways. When I have 10,000, I'll do giveaways. I don't think it's, and I think it's fine for anybody to do it the way they do it. I think it works, but I'm not artificially, and I don't think that's necessarily, that's the wrong word. I'm not trying to lure subscribers to the channel. I want people to come because they want to be here. They found something that they like. They found something that they feel is worthy. Because I'm always trying to do better stuff. It's tricky. I'll tell you, creator burnout's a real thing. I don't call myself a creator, but I just did. But when I think about making short videos about knives, if you've got a steady flow of knives, you can make content about them, but you've got to carry those knives, understand those knives. And I'm one of those weird people. I don't like to do shitty reviews. I really don't. I don't like to beat something up. Now, if I get something in from Amazon, or I get something in, because I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, and it's shitty, like that one little razor knife I got that had horrible lock stick. It was a titanium knife. It's like $70. It was cool, but it had a fatal flaw too. Actually, the flipper tab sucked, and it had just mega lock stick. I'm talking incredible lock stick. So I did shit all over it. But if it had been somebody like, let's say Aries EDC, and he wouldn't send me something, but they would have a problem. But let's say there was something that was a problem, I'd reach out to him. If it was Vero, I'd reach out to him. I would say, look, man, something's wrong with this. I don't know if you want me to review it. I don't know if you want me to send it back and check it out, because I don't want to negatively impact somebody's business. Not that there are enough people that watch my stuff to do that, but there's a true trend in reality that negative titles, negative thumbnails, drama, anything like that's going to get a lot more clicks. A lot more clicks. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I think it's just different types of personalities that do it for different reasons. I do it totally for a hobby. I did it the first time. What's up, Dean? I'm glad you're lurking, buddy. Welcome, man. I did it at first for the Knives Live thing. That's the only reason. I had a shorts channel where I was doing Instagram, and I started doing just shorts. So if you go back and look at my channel, it's been in live since like 2010 or 11, because I had to start a channel to let my daughter record a video for school that we uploaded. I made it private because she was young, and it was a stupid video where they went out and kind of pranked people. It's kind of a precursor to what's going on YouTube now, which is weird for the younger kids, but they were doing that back, you know, in 2010. But I did shorts for almost a year, just shorts, just shorts, just shorts. That's it. You know, But Gratian, I appreciate that, dude, but I can do a better job. I mean, for me, and I've got to get out of the box, is I try to think of what was helpful to me. I watched Metal Complex, I watched Shabazz, I watched Slicey Dicey. I like the top-down view. I like to see a knife, see it the best way I could, maybe that I couldn't see it on Blade HQ's website, on DLT's website, and get their opinion, right? Their opinion, I never took any reviewer's opinion as the gospel. It did influence me because I look at them as straight shooters, Stasa, Jared. They're people that I, you know, bought Kevin. I bought a lot of knives that Kevin hated, I loved. And I got to know even before I ever had a relationship outside of just being in his chats and watching his content, before I knew Kevin, I knew that certain stuff that he didn't like that I would like. And I learned that when he went nuts and hated on the 8015. He thought it was the worst knife ever made. And it's one of my favorites. So I realized that everybody's different, right? And that's a good thing. I think the more diverse we are in what we collect, the more diverse we are as people, and the more we kind of organize and hang out. And, I know it happens every live stream. Somebody gets and I hear about it afterwards. Something happens in chat and people get upset. And I think the cool thing is if you take it with a grain of salt and you realize that everybody's just kind of jockeying on their opinion, it's a great time to debate your point. There's no need to take it personally or go personal with it or get offended by it. Because a lot of times I've learned in a big way that people are very passionate about knives, whether it's blade steel, whether it's spine whacking, whether it's where it's made. There are a lot of thoughts that go in a lot of different areas, a lot of different what's important to me might not be as important to you, but that doesn't mean what's important to you is any less important than what's important to me. It's just to be tolerant, right? I think that's the key. To be tolerant with what people like. If somebody's hard up on HRC, that's great, but there's no need to beat on somebody whose knife might not be the best HRC because they might not care about that. Bottom line is they might not give two fucks. They open packages, they don't care. So there's a difference in having your opinion and singling out others for having a different opinion and somehow making them feel like they've made a bad decision. Because I don't think that's always the case. And some people will say, well, objectively, it is the case because if you're going to buy anything less than an optimal heat treat, you're not getting the most for your money. And I disagree because the most for my money, the value might not be in the HRC of the freaking steel. I might be bored as fuck with Spyderco's, and I could care less. I'd rather have something that operated better, that felt better, that was a point or 2 points lower in heat treat. But that's just me. That doesn't mean that yours is wrong. That doesn't mean that yours isn't even more accurate than mine, right? I mean, my whole thing is, I know I'm wrong. I'm new. I'm you guys. Ooh, ooh. That's one less fruit fly. Sorry about that, guys. If one lands and I've got a clean shot, thank you, GFW2. And guys, I never ever want to upset anybody, and I do. I get messages. I realize that my thoughts aren't shared by everybody, probably the minority, but I am just a normal knife guy, and we all have different things. I'm a big believer in that hardcore bushcrafter in Alaska that's got the right blade to stick through a grizzly bear's head is not watching YouTube videos. Paul Mills, I guarantee you a lot of people care. And I do care about a good heat treat. I don't want anybody to think, and I will do a poll, I'm doing one now. I don't want anybody to think I don't think that's important. To me, I'm gonna put, is heat treat your number one priority? Because it's a yes or no answer. Um, for me, it's just not my number one. I'd love to get a 63 heat treated knife that does everything else I like. And a lot of people will say, well, that's because you're not a cutter. I am. I just don't cut I don't cut through bone. I don't cut through meat like deer. So I'm not dulling my edges. Plus, I've got a TS Prof and I like to sharpen good steel. The most important characteristic. It'd be nice if I could spell characteristic when buying a NAF. I just spelled NAF wrong. Important on. I'm going to put right here another option. Yes, no, maybe, to give somebody an out. Let's start the poll. I don't know. Should be up there, guys. That's true. But what my point was there, and I'm glad you said that, Rhodey, is I think the people that use knives hard, that really use knives hard, granted, they're people that are on YouTube that are totally legit bushcrafters that get it. I'm just saying their audience isn't the guy who's in Alaska surviving. They're doing what they're doing because they've done it well, right? They know how to survive. They're not looking for a reviewer to tell them what knife to break. They're not going to Joe X to say, "Oh shit, that knife served me fine when I stuck it through that grizzly's head, but you broke it." I mean, I look at what I hope to bring is just a view of different stuff, because that's where I'd get my eyes open. And I give Metal Complex a lot of credit for that. He showed me a lot of cool knives. Lefty showed me some really cool knives. A lot of people do. Iron Butterfly, and that's what's great about Hinders, to me at least. It's not only can you dress them up, but you can hardware swap. I do all kinds of weird stuff with mine and just love them. I just did a video that'll come out tomorrow afternoon or the next afternoon where I took a Hinderer XM18 back from Skiff thick washers, not my Hinderer washers, but my Skiff thick washers back to my Skiff bearings. And I just love them. And again, I used to hate Hinderers. I know they're softer steel. I talked to Rick at Blade Show, and I've talked to several of those people before. And I know a lot of people don't believe their answer, but they've worked with and adjusted their heat treats and worked with different materials. And they found through testing and through customer feedback that certain things work better for their knives, and they stick with that. I don't know if that's true. I don't have any reason not to believe them. They make a lot of more knives than I do. I don't know why they would make a subpar to what they think's optimal for their design heat treat. I don't know why somebody would do that or choose to do that. They might disagree with what a metallurgist who's putting optimal numbers on a steel that they help create that's new, doesn't work for their application because they followed those recipes possibly and they had issues possibly. I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't think Chris Reeves, I don't think TRM, I don't think Hinderer, I don't think Riot, I don't think Best Tech. I don't think anybody wants to make shitty knives that somebody's going to go do HRC tests and beat them up online. I don't think anybody's out for that. Now, some of your places like AliExpress and places like that, they could probably care less, right? But I think it's important. I mean, I'm not saying HRC is not important. I just think it's a science, right? And I don't think any of us are scientists. I'm not qualified to speak on it because there's so much more I know to metallurgy than there is to just an HRC because there are 3 main properties that we're looking at, right? Toughness, edge retention, and stainless abilities. Those are your main 3 that fluctuate with different compositions, is my understanding, which is very, very, very shallow. I haven't even read. I've almost bought it, but I know it would confuse me. And then I might even take a side and start talking about something I have no business talking about because metallurgy, you have to go to school for a long time for it. And most metallurgists, thank you, Crazy Roach, been a member for. Good to see you, buddy. But, so I don't know, most metallurgists are, my uncle's one, develop metals to coat armor piercing bullets, or they develop metals to travel on the exterior of, I'm going to talk about North Alabama. We're Rocket City. They're making rocket parts. They're not doing a lot of blade steels. It's not the big thing, right? So I just think that people are going to do the best they can with what they've got, and they've all got access to the same stuff. So why would you do something subpar if you're going to be competing with people who might point it out and cost you a lot of business that you don't have to risk? Because I don't think you save that much money by cheating a heat treat. You try to heat treat too many blades, you're naturally going to have inconsistencies. So maybe you just tell the customer that up front. Or maybe you cull more blades. I don't know. And I know it's super important. And I'm not going to, let's see what our poll says. 59% say no. Why can't I see the whole poll? I don't want to end it. And again, I think it'll always be, I would love to get, there are a lot of maybes, and I can see that. So, again, we all want the best, right? And it wasn't worded good. Soft steel versus good heat treat. Everybody's going to say good heat treat's better than soft steel. But I personally, not even with my Ace Biblio, which has great heat treat, which everybody had soft steel. I sharpen knives, not like Jared, not with my hands. I do them really soft with the TS Prof, so I can feel how my stones operate with different steels. I've sharpened hinderers. I've changed the angles on them with some insight from Jared. I've never noticed the difference in a soft and a properly heat treated. So properly heat treated, I would think would be 100%, because when we think about that, that's hitting your, what do they call it? Not baseline, hitting your ranges to get a good heat treat. So you're taking the steel manufacturer's recommendations for the outcome that you're looking for, and you're replicating that like a brownie. You're cooking something, you're cooking steel, you're quenching it, you're doing that to it. So bad heat treat is not good for anybody, but I don't think any of my knives, and I sharpen all of them almost, budget. I'm sure I've had some that are softer than others, but I've never had one that I've gone, man, that's just not up to par. But I don't cut as much sisal rope as I can. I don't cut. I will go, and I used to have a girl that I saw who was an Amazon, bought a lot of stuff, and I'd go cut down packages for her on Saturdays and Sundays just to help fill her 2 recycling bins. And I loved it. So I was doing a lot of cardboard cutting. Um, and I think if you talk to Jared, he says K390 is his favorite. He loves it on a stone. He loves the way it retains an edge. I'm a big fan of LMAX. Brand New American, what's up? I'm not all that smitten with MagnaCut. I like it. I've never had a bad experience with it. I don't pay more for it. It's just, I can look at this and CPM 154 or 154 CPM, whatever it is. See, and I don't say, well, I like this one better because it's MagnaCut. One of my plague doctors is S45, my little one, and my other one's MagnaCut. And I want to say I like S45 every bit as big. But I look for things now that are different than what I looked for before. Before it was all about action, all about how it felt, how it opened and closed. I was huge into drop shut. I thought that was cool. I still like that very much. Um, that's why I never liked autos. I had an auto early on, but somebody recommended that I try this little ProTech Newport. If I was going to get into an automatic, that would be a gentleman's folder. These are not that expensive. They're made in the US. And this is a fantastic little gentleman's folder. Very sharp. S35VN, very simple. Light, deep carry clip, and just works, right? But then, to me, this knife, I've got my Max Ace Neptune that I really like. It's got a little bit of a skull cracker, but this knife, when I first checked it out at Blade Show 2023, made by Best Tech, very small in terms of handle, and a blade that's actually hollow ground and functionally cuttable. Carries really well in the pocket. So I'd never been an out the front guy because the Microtechs I'd experienced did not have the best. They didn't feel like the sliciest, greatest cutters. These, and I'll tell you, and I know it was the first run of the USA made pulses, but my buddy A to Z let me borrow one of the USA mades. That's what's in the video. It has a thinner blade, Magna Cut blade. It's a Tonto, just not as sharp. And it's probably because they're a smaller factory. I don't know how Best Tech sharpens these, but this is a hollow grind with a compound Bowie tip, and it's just done well. And for an automatic knife, this has been in my pocket for almost a week. And I use it to open peanuts, to open cat food, I cut some tape. But you talk about slicey. These sheepdogs have always been slicey beasts. And keep in mind, this guy is $48 right now in black aluminum, totally blacked out. Great clip, in and out of pocket, 154 cm. What's up, Josh? It is the mini. They don't have the full size. They have full sizes on sale. They just don't have a button lock. And then the drop bear, which I'd never tried until about a week ago. This particular variation is 30% off, and it's going for like $83.30. Same 154 cm, black aluminum, reversible clip, deep carry clip. You can adjust the springs. Super slicey. I'm bound to cut myself on live one of these times. I've done it on videos, but usually I cover it up. But I was really glad to try out Kaiser's again because really I purchased the Phoenix, which I really liked. I purchased the Veritas, which I really liked. I purchased the Mercury, which I forget that designer's name, but I met him on Lefty's Live, that little gold razor knife that I thought was really cool. I'm trying to think what else I've gotten from them. And I've still got a lot of Kaisers in my collection. I've still got my Genie. I've still got my Clutch. Still got my Matthew Christensen Titanium Critical. What else do I have? I've got my Zip Slip, which is my Kaiser slip joint. But the drop bear does rule. I mean, it's a great knife. I I can't say anything bad about it. I did the review. It hadn't gone out yet, but you can't say very much bad about a knife like that. Um, this is a very unorthodox knife that I've noticed they've come out with carbon fiber. I don't know if they're liner locks, but this is an arc form theory. I picked this up from White Mountain Knives back when I was working just because I wanted to review it. I didn't think I'd keep it, but this, guys, is one of the sliciest, best knives that I've enjoyed. And it'll stay in my collection because I really do like it that much. Perfect access. I've got an arc form slim foot, which was one of my first above $300 knives. But this guy is super nice. I want to say it's M390, really, really slicey, really pokey, thin. And they're starting to come out with different finishes. So if y'all have wondered about them, I've got a review on it and I love it. I'm a huge fan. This is another one that I can't recommend highly enough. This is kind of like a Vosteed Dachshund. It's a Vosteed, but the Dachshund's 229. Titanium and M390. And this is the Talosaurus. Uses the same axis lock, has this thumb disc and this little harpoon in the blade, which works really, really well together. It's a little shorter, and the handle reminds me of my Benchmade 945, the way it's contoured, not the way it necessarily looks in lines, but the way that the angles, you can't see it on this white as much, but it's got a really nice contouring to it. This one has a better finger choil. It's in 14C and it's like $72. I'm a huge fan of Vosteed, guys. They're probably the one that I was most excited to see at Blade Show, and they've got really cool stuff coming out. Cool locking. I mean, it's thinking outside of the box, right? And this knife was done very well. I love the PSYOP. My buddy A to Z has that, so I was able to review it, hang on to it for a week. I would love to get one. But with that top liner lock, it's just done very, very well. I've never tried a lander, Chris, but I do have both banners, the OG banner and the baby banner. I've actually had 3 baby banners. I gave one to a friend that was work, one of my clients. I gave one Warncliffe away, and I keep one for my size comparisons. And it's right here, and I've got it on thick washers right now, so it's not on bearings. You wouldn't know that. You might notice it when you close it, but you can slow roll it really easily. I love the Phoenix. I donated mine to we were putting together some stuff for a brother in the community when he lost his mom, and it was what I had at the time that was something kind of nice to donate. Um, I was in between paychecks, so I sent that off and don't regret it at all, but it's a great knife. Yeah, I agree. The Rascos or Racosco, which used to be called something different, is a fantastic knife. I still think the PSYOP is my favorite, but I love um, Yu's designs. Yu has kind of always been, I've known him through all the Blade shows when Vosti was brand new. He's just a super nice guy. But the Civivi Baby Banters in either a Warncliffe or in the drop point are great knives. I get more handle on this than I do on my Wii banter. I don't have the big banner, but I've got the regular banner. And then other cool shit, Tyler Denny's knives. This is a version 1 of an Apprentice. This one's Magna Cut, acid etched with this caramel vintage micarta. And the reason I show this little thorn, this little arrow, it's got this harpoon here. Got a super, super flat grind. I've got a version 2 too that I bought. It's an absolute laser beam and it's pokey stabby. So I've got this one, which is a Gen 1. The difference in the Gen 1 is if you see this plunge grind, you've got plenty of sharpening area, but he moved the plunge grind further back on the Gen 2, which I'll show you. And instead of pinning his scales, he's now screwing them. But my Gen 2 is right here. And it is in crew wear with the satin finish. It's got G10 handles, but you'll notice that plunge grind is moved much farther back. See that? And then you've got the screw on handles. But I love crew wear. Great, great little self-defense EDC. I use it as an enhancement EDC. I've got one that I carry in my back pocket in an Oak City leather slip. The other one I just carry in my back pocket. They both come with Kydex sheaths. But Tyler makes all these in the States. They're around. You can get them. I've not been able to get one on a drop with a carbon fiber handle. He does some really cool carbon fiber. But they're under $200, right under. What's up, Todd Carr? Mr. Eddie, how are you, buddy? But they're handmade. It's the only style I think he makes, these little apprentices. And then I've been a big fan, even though they're OEM by Best Tech. These are the Griffin Co. / Combat Beads. They did some folders recently, the 3.0, the 4.0. This is the Combat Beads Scout 2.5, which is a great little minimalistic fixed blade, an S35VN, full tang OEM by Best Tech. And they also did this little Scout Medic, the smaller version. It's got a full-size handle, but it's got a much smaller blade, also OEM by Best Tech, S35VN. But these little fixed blades are where I didn't get into, even though I appreciate the bigger fixed blades, I'm just not going to carry them a lot because I'm a littler guy. But I like small to medium sized fixed blades. This is, I don't know what number, but this is one of the first 6 Luck knives that came out of NAF Sergeant's lab. This is a Squall in Magna Cut. I bought this from Lefty. This is amazingly slicey for a thicker grind. Really nicely done handles. But it's either number 3 or number 4. They don't even look the same anymore. And then we've got our Marlboro Handcraft, who allegedly is coming back. No, so, I'm sorry, someone else. They're making knives. This is the little prick. This is a great little slicing knife. Small, but pokey, stabby, 3-finger knife for me. USA made. And then this is one of my most carried in June. I carry this in my back pocket. This is my superlative Hella little M390 sheep's footy, 3-finger. You can take the scales off if you want it to be skeletonized. Just a very lightweight cutter, really slicey. I love the pocket dropper sheath. Does great, really in any pocket. And then I have lit my Mag 10 Knife Works Colin McGuire knife take over my large Oak City leather slip. I'm letting it form up, but I love this knife. I've got a Kydex sheath that came with it, but I just felt like it deserved something better. I'm gonna say that's RWL 34 with camo carbon fiber handles, lime green G10 liners. And it is so slicey. I got to see him at Blade Show, talk for a while. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. We'll go to Instagram and look at some of these guys' stuff, but Colin makes really cool stuff. I don't know if I have my driver defense out here. I do. So this is another knife I bought at Nashville, which I love for an EDC knife. It's on the bigger side of what I carry, but you can get a full, regardless of how big your hand is, full 4 fingers on this. But it's got a smaller, little tall, black ground Magna Cut blade, really thick stock. This is called the driver defense splinter. And I would call it a much harder use knife. So I know I could stab this into a car door. But very slicey, very well done. And this is made about 45 minutes for me. He does some killer folders. He does some really nice slip joints. He had some swords at Blade Show. But he's even got a knife that's a little bit smaller than this. So I'll show you guys. Man, I'm going to have to get something because I can't shoot all these tiny little gnats. Yeah, Jim Miller, I'm going to be on probably for another hour. Maker still hadn't shipped it to me. Now, nobody listens to Eric. Do not get bummed out on that. We've all been screwed over, but I don't think that's the case at all. What happens, did you get it off Etsy or did you buy it from somebody? Because typically what they do is they'll show a knife and then they'll have to finish one just like it. So there's like a week to 7 days to 8 days that goes into getting it ready because the knife that they show in some cases, and I know that this is not the greatest thing, but it happens a lot, are not necessarily the knives that go out. Yeah, and just look for vouchers. I mean, I know people are a year and a half waiting for Greg to finish up with some of the fronts. I was talking to Scotch about it last night. And those guys are patient, they believe, as they should. I mean, he's got a long record of delivering knives, regardless of what you think about him. He is trying to get it right. But yeah, my Kaiser's killing it, Vosti's killing it. I know Civivi's killing it. They're hard to get in touch with. I've tried to reach out to that guy. I forget his name. He's the main Civivi. The the face of them. I've talked to him at all the blade shows. His name's just slipping me now. We'll look at it when we get to Instagram. But he hadn't replied to my message. I've sent their sales department several messages, and it gets to the point where I don't care. I mean, I don't need to show more Civivis. I'm not going to buy more Civivis. If you want Civivis, I'm not looking to have relationships with everybody that makes knives. I've gone after like 7 or 8 companies total that I work with or want to work with because it's what I buy. It's what I bought throughout the years. I know I'll never work with Benchmade because they don't work with people, but your Kaisers, your Civivis, your Artisans, CJRBs. I know Russell. I can't get in touch with him. I'm getting all around him, but just give me his number, guys. Um, it's and I know they've got a lot going on, but it's frustrating. I mean, I'm not looking, I've even like, look, I will send it back to you. I'm just looking to showcase it to people because I find it cool. I would buy it if I was buying knives. So I'd love to show it to people that watch the content because not everybody wants to see high end shit. People love fixed blades. For me, because I get a lot of low views anyway, but people love the fixed blade videos. Um, and like I said, I've got a huge show you that picture again. This is the thumbnail of the fixed blade collection dive, which is the last part of the collection dive I've got to do. But this is a full hang on the back of a door, big Blade HQ knife roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. I forget. It's like 148 that it holds. But I've also got fixed blades in there, and I don't know how many videos it's going to take to do them, but I do want to do them. Aries makes some great ones, Chris. The one I want is the Sparrow, I think. Let's go to, I love the Bloom, but when I found he did one a little smaller, let me get to it. Hold on. Let me share this. The one that I really like, not that one. It's the Bloom. I love that one. Nothing wrong with it. But the one that I would buy, and there's several I'd buy, but the one that I like the most, I think it's called the Sparrow. I'll show it to you. There's the Bloom that I tried out. Beautiful knife. I mean, his handles are spot on. His grinds are wonderful. A super nice guy. Seems to have a really good way for making things happen. That's a Bloom too. I thought that might be it. It's coming up though, guys. It's a little fella. Looks very bloomish, but it's smaller. And I can't see the chat, guys. I'm terrible when I go look at. I'm going to get another monitor. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I kind of want a small one because I don't have a lot of room here. But part of me thinks a big one would be good. The pedal. So that's the one I'm after. The pedal's just a little bit smaller. Very cool knife. Very similar to the Bloom in grind and in shape, but it's just a little guy. And I love it. I just love it. Because again, most times, even though I've got several fixed blades that I carry as primaries, most times I carry them as an enhancement, even though I use them more. I think that's one there too. But that's the one I really like. But he does some really great stuff. The other one I was going to show you was T. Denny. So these are the apprentices. And I forget where he makes these guys. Let's go back. But he does all different blade steels, all different handles, micartas. These are all Gen 2s. You can tell because they've got screw-on handles. Love the fat carbon, and he does do a different knife. That's a bigger knife. I'm a huge fan of his stuff. I don't know why my voice just cracked. I'll show you the first one I bought from him. These are the scales. Vintage micarta, but that's it right there. No, it's not. That says orange G10. But really cool knives. I'm a huge fan. Um, I'll show you something else I'm really interested in. Saw that at Blade Show. Have y'all seen that yet? New Protec. It's the Oligarch. Magna Cut, Warncliffe, automatic, very minimalistic, very nice knife. They had some super cool stuff there. There's another Oligarch that was kind of dressed up. That Mord Axe is for sale. I've seen it places. It's like 600. But then we have got a lot of really cool stuff coming from EMP EDC. These have all sold out. They had a lot of different kind of cool finishes, but what was left, I don't know what's left anymore. But I know he's going to be on Friday night to talk about upcoming stuff that's been ordered that's on its way. So black and gray are still available in the Warncliffe and the Bowie, which is my preferred blade shape. You can get it in both the black or the gray. But really, really cool knife. Big fan of that. Again, it's definitely my favorite automatic, but I'm not your normal automatic guy. Uh-oh. Almost hosed us and got out of our live going back to Instagram, which would have been not good. The other one I was going to show you was Driver Defense. That Splinter I was just showing you, the guy that's like 45 minutes from me. The knife that he had at Blade Show, that's him and his son. He does amazing slip joints. Was this one right here? This little guy. The Gremlin. That's a folding Gremlin. But I liked the fixed blade Gremlin, this little guy. Those are the Splinters. He had a bunch of those. Those are really ergonomical, cool knives. He had these swords. The guy's an amazing maker. He had these slip joints that were next level cool. They're not pocket metals jam. We looked at them together, but that's Magna Cut. Perfect displacement and half stop. Closed, very smooth. But yeah, just make some cool stuff. Really different. That's a little knife. The Gremlin, 2.75-inch blade, 6.5 inches overall. That's my jam. Here's my buddy. If y'all watch my videos where I say go follow A to Z EDC, he's my local buddy who lets me bring in a lot of stuff to do reviews on. I'm getting ready to bring in 3 Evos, not Evos. I'm gonna bring in his Herman, check it out. It was his null that I reviewed. I've got this review coming up. I reviewed that. I reviewed that. This is a driver defense. So the guy I was just showing you, Destin Driver, made this folder, which is glassy frame lock. It's got that's not copper. It's called semiconductor, and I love that compound grind. But if you're not following A to Z EDC, that's a Jamie, I forget his name, over in he makes these in Jackson, Tennessee. But he's got some bangers. He just sold that. But that's my buddy, A to Z EDC. We go to nice shows together. But he's got 3 of these JCapes. And I've never reviewed one of those. He's got a bunch of these that I've never been that into. I did an unboxing on this one because I won the lottery for him. But he does have some pretty unique stuff. This is an American maker. He bought this on a NAF sale. Wilkins Westwind. It's a very interesting knife. And these are Super Steel Steve's. He's got a lot of his knives. He swears by these. He says these are some of the best kitchen knives because he's got some Liang Hua kitchen knives. I was trying to find, yeah, this one right here. This is the other one with the paisley. I love this one. But luckily, he found his certificate of authenticity because he was wearing me out about that. Like, dude, I'd not lose your certificate of authenticity. He's also a percussionist. He works in a music store, but he's plays all over the country in different bands. But yeah, cool stuff there. Go give him a follow. I'll drop his Instagram. What's up, Rob's Nerdy Knives? Which one? Oh, the ProTech? I've been on another page, buddy, looking at I'll go give my buddy A to Z a follow. He's a he's an asshole, but he's got cool knives. So the other one, this is Colin McGuire. This is the dude who makes the that fixed blade, the EDW that I've got, but he also does his own Damascus. So we were talking at Blade Show. He makes his own handles and Damascus. Those are the sheaths they come in. This is one similar to mine. CPM 154. That's what it is. And then he does a lot of these, which I don't like. He told me why. These shadow box scales. This is Damascus. And Damascus, that's not a cheap knife. But he shows that this is 4 bars, and I'll show you what the bars look like. 75 layers per bar, 1084, 15N20, shadow box, Damascus scales with hidden pins. He does a lot of those. That's him and his fam. Lives up in Maine. But he does a lot of these with these shadowed scales. But he always talks about his composition. Now, this is what that's 4 bars. That's what's going to be the blade that he was telling me how he gets it to look different. But I'm a big fan of the full scale over the little partial scale. But the shadow box is really, he says, popular. I think he sells more of those. but he does some wicked stuff. There's just so many good knife makers out there. And really, most of them I've met at the Nashville knife show, and then I'll go find them again at Blade Show. This guy also lives over in about 45 miles from here. He has his knives at one of my local knife stores, the only local knife store, but he makes these slip joints that are very well done. All done the old way. I was trying to find one that he does a lot of Damascus, a lot of really cool handle materials, and a really nice guy. I mean, I'm not big into slip joints, but I can appreciate cool work, and that's him. But a lot of these young whippersnappers are just making it happen. And you got Brenda Silverlips, who does jewelry. She's one of my faves. I wonder why. But she's into guns and stuff, knives. Give her a follow. You won't regret it. She has a lot of silver stuff. But yeah, a lot of really cool stuff out there. I'd really like to get more Civivi in. Talked to them at Blade Show. Again, hadn't been able to get back in touch with whatever the goob's name is. Where is he? I'll show you who I'm talking about. That dude right there. What's his name? Not him. Not Cougar Kyle. I need to reach out to Cougar Kyle. The other guy. I'm just find him. That dude right there. That dude. I'm surprised he didn't tag himself. He seems like the type that would tag himself. But yeah, so I've got to talk to a human there. I mean, I've got an affiliate partnership with them, but again, would love to review some of their knives. Even if they don't want me to give them away, if they want me to send them back, I don't care. I would think they would want them to be given away. But that guy right there, what's his name? I know where his name is. Bama Knife Guy. Oops. Let's see. Where? Where are messages? His name is Steph. That's him. I've got to find him somewhere else. I'm gonna have to stalk him on LinkedIn, and I hate to do that, but I'm capable because I am a freaking digital. That's my other identity. What's his name again? Seth Urcan. Boom. He used to have a fuller beard, didn't he? Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I get in like hyper focus mode. Let's do this. Let's go up here real quick and let's go. Let's drop that in there. Let's send it to old Seth. All right. Now let's get the fuck out of LinkedIn. All right. So no love from Seth. No love from Seth. But I'll have to find a way to get in touch with him. I mean, I talked to them all at Blade Show, and that's all well and good, but they're talking to, I know how it is because we used to do shows for the kitchen cabinetry we sold and shit like that that we made. And you don't have time to talk to all your buyers, much less vendors. And I consider us kind of in that vendor category. Um, so I just dropped off cards, which business cards suck. What's really cool, I think I showed y'all last night. I've got to do a video for it tonight. I've got one of these. Have y'all ever seen these Tappa tags? That's an electronic business card. I just put the sticker on it. But you when you tap it to your phone or tap it to somebody's phone, they can click on it and they can go to your profile, and then your profile gives them the choice to save it as a contact. And when you save it as a contact, I can't show it on my phone, but I can show you what the profile looks like. And it's got like 53 customizable fields. So you can put in any freaking website, any, I mean, you name it. Let me find it here. These bugs drive me nuts. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. All right. All right. So this is my new, what I wish I had at Blade Show, because you can go over and you set this up, you scan it, and it gives you this little thing where you can put a little intro in. And then if they click save my card, it goes right to their contact manager. If you click connect with me, it pulls up a little thing where you can take their information. But then you choose what links you want to have. So I can have my link tree, my Instagram, my YouTube, my Amazon store, my Instagram threads, my no, this is my Spring store. This is Threads, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, my phone number, my email, my Vero, and PayPal. And it says donate now, but I use that for when people are buying knives. So if I want to go in here and check it out, you can change all your colors. You can change your, you can, I've got a QR code that I can download. I've got that embedded in my email. So if somebody wants to scan it, they can in my email. But you can, like, these are all the different things I could fill in. And you notice most of these I don't have filled in. And so if I didn't want to use Google Play, but I wanted to use something else, I can go over here and I can go change an icon, and I can create an icon. I'll show you what I mean by that. So create an icon. I don't like that one. That's too small. Let's just find another one. Where is it? Create an icon. So I'd go boom. Let's do that one. We're just going to go with it. There we go. Whoops. Damn it. Where'd it go? All right. Last time I'm going to do this. All right. We're going to do that. open, click on it. How do we get it to go? We're going to go down here and we're going to go done. And media type, we can do text, and we could call this artisan. And then we could put in their website. Or I could put in my affiliate link if I wanted to. But so I copy that, come back over to that, and then pop in that, save it. And what you'll see now is in my profile details, one of these 53 fields down here where mine are, like that's one that I've got. That's my link tree, Amazon, Twitter, Vero, Artisan Cutlery. I don't want that one. So I'm just going to clear it out, delete, and then I'm going to go confirm. And now I should have, let's see, log out. Let's go back here. And let's click on it again. And it should be back to, yeah, it didn't put that one down there. But you can have up to 53 icons. So basically, if I showed it to you on my phone, what happens is if they click save my contact card, what it does, it doesn't do anything on the computer. It gives them this little VCF file, which I could email, but it fills up in their iPhone or in their Android phone book all this stuff that it will have fields for. So what it doesn't have fields for, like Vero or PayPal, it gives them a hyperlink in the notes section that they can click on and they can come to this. So I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know how well it'll work. It would have worked great at Blade Show because all you have to do is tap it to somebody's phone, and all they have to do is click on their browser app and then click save to card, and it automatically saves it, and they've got your contact information there. But since I always do top-down videos, I'm going to have to shoot it like I'm doing a live stream, just record a video from here where I can show my phone and actually tap it to the phone so people can see how it works, because you can't really see how it works. And they also make them where you can stick them on the back of a phone if you don't want the card. So they've got a lot of different ways. And there are all kinds of companies that do this. But so you can get these little things that stick on your phone with your logo or without it. And that way you can just tap your phone to somebody, right? Or they've got these little bracelets. They've got digital keychains. What they've got that's pretty cool too are review tags. So if you are trying to get Google reviews for your business, it's got these that you can set up at your business where all they have to do is go by and it'll open your Google review page, and it makes it easy for them to leave a review or a TripAdvisor review. It's just really, I find it fascinating because you can control exactly what goes into it, right? So with mine, because I pay $2.99 a month after getting the card, so I can have 3 profiles. I've got a work profile in there, which I don't use much, and I've got my channel one, and then I've got a personal one, right? You don't need 3, but you can have 3. Or you can just have a little bracelet, which I think looks gay, and it would do the same thing, right? Because all the info comes from the same place. It comes from this little thing here. So that's where you go when you first scan your card. You go in and you fill out all your stuff however you want it to read. but it's super cool. I can recommend it. I've been using it, and I can tell you their customer service is really good. I've got a call we keep missing because they're in Scotland, but he's going to walk me through how to do um, how to change and update these fields for the different 3 profiles that I've got. So you can see here, you can have what they suggest, which are all these different sites, or you can change them to be anything you want. And most people are only going to have 4 or 5. You know, I don't have a, what is it called? WeChat, or I don't have a TikTok, or I don't have a, a lot of that crap. But it's cool stuff. And I've got that saved there where I can just go log in and I can change anything I want. And I guess it gives you reports, which shows how many people have used it. So anyway, something that's if y'all are makers or you're YouTubers or you're running around trying to gather any type of networking information, if I was working still at Spectrum where I've got still probably 500 cards, um, I would rather have a digital card. I would have it customized to where it looked like it, but then you have one card, you just tap it to it. I'd probably get one of the ones that stick on the back of your phone case. So you guys know that Zach is doing Saturday Night Live tonight. Zach's doing it tonight, and JB is doing it tomorrow. So they're switching up, which will be cool. My buddy A to Z's been checking out my Magic Whiskers 2, which is different than the Magic Whiskers 1, because the Magic Whiskers 1, you switch the bolster up here. This one, you do it from the heel of your hand, and he could never get it because I guess he's got thicker hands to work that well. You literally just wiggle that. See that scale move? So you just give it a little twitch of the hand and it comes out. My mom couldn't open it. I handed it to her, but that's a cool knife. Full size. Magic Whiskers 2 is a lot smaller. But a year ago, I had no use for automatics. Zero. Because they didn't drop shut, right? They didn't have any really action. And I've got now plenty of hours of action so I can try some different things that I might not have tried as willingly a year ago. It's just amazing to look around at how different my collection is. But yeah, the collection dive will be finished up. If you guys go to, not that anybody wants to see it, but if you go to my playlist, let me share this. Whoops, hit the wrong freaking button. If I go to that, I got a playlist. So these are weird. These are all the collection boxes, right? So I've got 4 boxes there, 4 videos for each. That was my Kaiser case. That was the last one I did. And then I did 2 videos with slip joints. I don't know why those are in there. They shouldn't be in there. I got to go change those. But anyway, I'm going to put the fixed blades in there as soon as they go. And I think people like them more because for some reason, I don't know why it is, but for some reason, my regular videos are lucky to get 100, 150 views. My fixed blades This is one that went up this morning. It's at how many views? It's at 978 views. Now that one had 167, but it was part of a giveaway last night. That one's 94. So I don't do a lot of views. I mean, they'll build up and get to 200, 300, maybe 500. But every time I do fixed blades, if I go to my most popular, they're all fixed blades, which surprised me that many more people would be fixed blade people. And then the knife that got me yelled out of the community by Lefty. So yeah, guys, expect continued amounts of fixed blade content from me. Was I not sharing that with y'all? Was I just talking through it and not sharing any of it with you? That sucks if I wasn't, because what I was trying to show you was share screen, Javon's Knife Flicks. If I go popular, my most popular videos are all fixed blades, without doubt. I mean, we don't get to a folder until this Civivi, which I gave away. Why it got a lot of views, I don't know. And then my titanium, I gave this away a couple of weeks ago. That's an Amazon knife. And what's weird, it makes no sense to me, but it's all of a sudden, where is it? It forever didn't do dick. And for some reason, for no reason, it just picked up. Where'd it go? I thought it showed me, it was showing me stuff over here. Anyway, it has definitely, is definitely weird how that works, because a lot of people get a ton of views. I don't get a ton of views. And I know I should be really good at it because I do SEO, search engine optimization. I know about keywords. I know about all that stuff. I just don't play the algorithm game. But there's a lot to be said for the simplicity of a thumbnail. I try to see what I click on, what makes me click on it. And a lot of times it is clickbait. I mean, a lot of times you've got to have sensational titles that are very, I always like to put the name of the knife because I feel like if somebody's searching for it, like I used to be, I'd find it. But to really get people to watch it, YouTube measures the first, I think, 40 minutes of when you release a video. That's why I've also got to find the best time to release them, because I always do it first thing in the morning. But if people don't watch it right away, it only gets a few views, say 10 or 15 views. It's not going to get pushed out as much. You're not going to get as many impressions, which are people seeing your thumbnail, to have a chance to click on it if it doesn't have that engagement right out of the gate. So there's so much, and there are videos on it. I've got a bunch of articles I've saved in my Evernote about it. I just haven't taken the time to read it because I don't care. I should care, because I want more people to watch my videos. Because if you look at my subscriber count versus my engagement, I only have like 8% of the people that subscribe to my channel come watch my long form content. Most of them watch my shorts because my shorts are what has really led to most of my growth. I mean, I'll put out 4 to 7 shorts a day, because they take 15 seconds each to record, then another 20 seconds to tag and put in what I need to put into them. So in like 20 minutes, I can upload 7 shorts back to back. I don't stage them out. But within 24 hours, at least one of those shorts will get 2,000-3,000 views. So if I go to my content and I share this with you guys, and I go to shorts. So if we just scroll down, these are the ones today. Well, the Hinderer from this morning already has 3,731 views. And these are ones from yesterday. They started out with like 12 views, and now they're at over 1,000 views. So if you scroll down through here, usually one of every one of my videos, my shorts, which are 15 seconds, they don't make any money, no ad revenue. They just bring in subscribers. So this one's gotten 10,603 views in what, 3 days? So for me, the shorts game works. Now, it could be hurting me overall because I'm not getting the engagement. I'm not getting people watching my long form content like they watch my short form content. But for years, that's all I did was short form content. And I don't do anything special except put the name of the knife, and then I put a hashtag YouTube shorts, a hashtag shorts, a hashtag YouTube short, and hashtag short. And it's just, it's bizarre how it works that way. And then my videos, I get very few views. I mean, that's fluke. But all my fixed blades, there's a fixed blade, got 600 views so far. That was like 3 days ago. That's a ProTech unboxing, so that's not a fixed blade, but people like fixed blades a lot more than folders. I mean, I stay under 200 views unless I do fixed blades. So I got to figure that out. I've got to figure out a way. What's up, Brian F? Demonoc, what is up? Sorry, guys. I've got to get more monitors so I can look at y'all on one monitor, or I could hook up my iPad. But when I did that, it was too far away for me to see. I've got to figure out a way to be able to look at other screens, to share stuff with you guys, and be able to look at you guys at the same time. But that's the struggle. The struggle's real. So, struggle A is always thinking of something that somebody might want to watch, right? I'm fortunate that I've got a lot of knives. They're old. A lot of people don't want to see them, but I've got knives that I can work with. Then you got to think of what you want to talk about, because I don't do scripts. I just ad lib it, no edits, talk about the knife or the knives. And then you've got to come up with, and usually it's better to come up with a thumbnail idea first of what people are going to click on. So it's really a lot of weird things that I never thought of thinking about when I just first wanted to put knife videos on the internet, because I still only want to put knife videos on the internet, knives that I like, but I would like to have more, or a more ratioed number of people see them than subscribe to the channel. Because I don't know why people would subscribe to the channel and not watch the content, unless they're just watching shorts, because I put out one video, maybe two a day, long form, and then 9 shorts. So I don't know. It's frustrating, but it's fun. And if you just do it because it's fun and don't take it too seriously, because right now I've got videos staged out through, let's see, how do I have them? Let's go to YouTube. Let's go to Javon. Let's go to your videos. So I've got videos staged out through, that's not right. It's not right. Can y'all see that? Okay. So members see this right out of the gate, but this video, that video, that video, that video, that video, those are all staged to come out. That one. I thought I had more of that one. And I've got several things that I've got to record still, but I've got a lot of stuff to come out. But I try during the weekend to come up with enough videos. What's up, Matthew? To release throughout the week. I mean, there's a lot of times where it's 3 o'clock in the morning because I don't sleep regular hours and I've got to record something for the next day. Again, my videos are 15 minutes long, so it takes me 15 minutes to record it. Then I use iMovie to put my intro with my logo with the video. That takes about 20 minutes for it to process, and then I upload it to YouTube, all from my phone. I don't do anything from my computer until I do this tappy tag um, video, which I'll have to do from here so I can share screens and figure out how to even present that. I just think it's cool. I know Lefty dig it. I know a lot of people that are running around shows. I know a lot of the content guys would really like it. Because I could have used it. I'm still trying to chase down people who I know their names. They're just hard to find, and I know they're busy. So it's 11:11. Let me go over here real quick, and we are going to see. I'm going to go to Zach stuff. And we are going to. Why is it doing that? Let's go to lives. Let's share that. So this is going to be in about 40 minutes, I guess. I can't do military time. And then Big Red, I think, is at 2 tomorrow. Yeah, because that's 12/1/2. So they just switched their days. And this is all the crazy stuff that shows up in my feed because I watch so much weird shit. I have not watched this yet. That's I don't know if y'all remember Big Red. I always like Big Red, but Big Red had some issues with several people in the community, and a lot of things were found out to be not as described, not as credible. Night, Chris Morris. Have a good night, buddy. We're not going to be here that much longer. We're going to roll out of here probably in 15 minutes so people have time to grab what they need to grab before they sit down for Big Red. And guys, I'm guilty. I tried it last night at Matisfactions. I'll get off of this. I'll sit on my couch, turn on the TV, and I'll fall asleep. Delaney, it's under YouTube's terms and service. And I can tell you that I'm not a lawyer. I thought about being one. My dad was one, but none of it makes sense. The basics, if you think about, well, you can't think about what should be normal. You can't say cuss words in the first, I think it's 5 minutes. And then you can certain words, but every live stream, I'd say 80% of the live streams that I do, when I finish, it'll stay with the green monetization tag for an hour, and then it'll go to yellow, which means no copyright strikes, but it can't be monetized. And I have to go in and manually request a review because their algorithm caught it, right? And I've only had one video, one live stream out of the whole time I've done this, which is coming up on a year and a half, maybe 2 years pretty soon. Only had one that didn't get overturned. But what sucks is you get a few people that watch your live stream live, right? And then you get, if you're lucky, people will come back and watch parts of it. Well, if YouTube goes and they flag it and you've got to wait 3 days for them to say it's okay, you're getting all your views in those first 3 days. So it's kind of a scam. But if we went to YouTube terms of service, hold on. There's some really good videos on it because I'm more visual than I am reading stuff. Because you can get in trouble for a lot of things. I remember Metal Complex got demonetized for a short period of time because some of his affiliate links that he had in his descriptions. Hold on, guys. I got to grab the cat. Give me a sec. Sorry about that, guys. I was getting ready to show you. I'm getting ready to show you. Share screen, YouTube's terms of service. So here is the real deal. So if you want to see what the real deal looks like, this is the terms of service. And what I've had happen to my videos is, I mean, again, you've got to be a lawyer to know what this is about. Just don't, you're not supposed to talk about pew pews, I don't think. I don't think you're supposed to talk about different things. Anyway, there's all types of stuff, but they're out there and there are videos that talk about it. There's a lot of good information on it. What I found is I'll go and I'll share something on Instagram, like an animal video that has music in it. And so I'll get a red strike. It's not a copyright strike on the channel, but it's a copyright strike on the video. So I'll have to go back to the video into my studio and it'll show me what 5 or 6 seconds from whatever I was showing has been claimed. So I can either go remove, which I do. I get, and it takes about 7 hours for YouTube to process through that video. Tippy, just walking on my soundboard, but to process that and take that little part out, or you can mute it to where it'll mute that part out. So they give you an opportunity to fix it, and their software fixes it. But I know people who do commentary videos, so it's like they'll talk shit about other creators and other spaces like the beauty space or the gossip space and stuff like that, and they'll get the person that they use their video to make fun of or talk about why they're so flawed will come in and they'll put a copyright strike on their channel. Miranda, what's up, girl? But and then you've got a copyright strike that'll stay on your channel for 90 days. And people can get, if you get 3 strikes, whether copyright or violations, your channel gets taken down. Nothing you can do about it. It's just one of those things. So that's why, and some people worry about it too much because evidently your chat, things can be said in chat that, you know, can, I guess, impact you negatively. But knock on wood, I've never had anything outside of the little yellow arrows. And I'll show you one that stayed yellow. And it said it was because something about one of the conflicts that we talked about and something about, let me see where it was. Hold on. Let's go to content. Let's go to lives. Scroll down. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. All right. So one of my lives, this one right here, all of them have the little green check. Now, after a live, it'll always say this. And I have to go in and I have to click on um, review. Well, this one says this video has been confirmed by manual review is not suitable for most advertisers. It remains fully playable and is eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium. So it just doesn't get shown as much. As then when you click on you learn more, whoops, let me stop sharing. Let me share again. When you click on that little thing again, it goes down here and it talks about things that we may have talked about, things that you wouldn't know unless you were reading that shit every day. So there's all kinds of inappropriate language, violence, adult content, shopping, harmful, blah, blah, blah. So just, a lot of stuff. And it's just a matter of keep in mind there how many millions or billions of people uploading stuff on YouTube. So it's the algorithms and stuff. It's like when Knifeageddon started on Tippy. It's like when Knifeageddon started on Instagram, when I had a professional account so I could look at analytics and all my posts started getting flagged. Well, they changed something in their algorithm. They didn't consciously say, we're going to go after knife enthusiasts and start flagging their content and make it not eligible for ad revenue. So I learned that if you switch back to a personal account from a professional account, all that stopped. And it still to this day has stopped. So if I go to my Instagram account, for example, and if I were to switch it to a professional account, I would immediately, within 2 minutes, I would have like 5 videos that needed to be reviewed or taken down. So when I take those 5 videos down, it would then have 5 more. So if I go to settings and I go to, is that sharing? Yeah. And I go to, let's see, where is it? I don't know if y'all can hear Tippy. She's whining about something. I apologize. Apps and websites notifications, supervision. Somewhere in here, it shows me my status. Hold on. Account types and tools. So see, this is the account status where it says that everything's good, nothing's affected, and there are no features I can't use. Well, when I had a professional account, like if I went in here to go to switch to a professional account, it would automatically flag stuff that was wrong because they grade them differently, I guess. So I would ask you guys or tell you guys to if you have your account set to professional, you're not gaining a lot from that. Actually, it killed my reach. It made I quit gaining followers. A lot of things happened that I didn't like about it. But what you'll notice is, where was it? It'll say under here, it'll say, like mine said content creator, it'll say something, right? It'll say whatever you chose it to say if you wanted to switch your profile over. So if I go to edit profile, I can go down here to, I think I have to do it in the account center. But anyway, if you go in and you edit it to a professional, it'll say what you want it to say under here. That's the only thing I can see that's an advantage. I don't see anything else that would be advantageous to doing it like that as a professional. But there's a little a little place where you do that. I don't know where it is, but it's all tied under Facebook, which makes it really hard. Um, anyway, yeah, they want you to verify your shit, which is just paying to have a little check mark by your name. That's crazy to me. Um, I'm not about that. So yeah, I don't know where that is. You can do all kinds of stuff in here. I never would for professional. So if I click on here, here's where I switch to a professional account. So I can go to a creator account and it'll automatically start flagging me. So I don't do that. But you can, and you can run a test. And if you're getting flagged on a lot of stuff now, um, and you notice that you've got, let's see, so Blade HQ's product service. So they are a professional account, right? So if we go and we look at Simon Custom Knives, he's a personal account, even though he's making knives. So he's not running into those same type of issues, right? So if we go to, let me find a retailer. Everyday City Carry. I think he's a content creator. Let's see. Nope, he switched back. So let's see. Blade HQ, we don't want to look at them again. Show me somebody different. I won't do this for long, guys. Uh, Joey Roman, let's see if he's a maker. Nope, he moved back because he was getting flagged a lot. Uh, A Purvis Blades, he switched back. Yeah, a lot of people that had professional accounts got over that because now Metal Complex has a professional account, video creator. So he is subject to that, but he probably doesn't get a lot of it because he's a big creator, right? The rules aren't typically, and this is no fault of people who are bigger creators, but they're not necessarily applied fairly. Is that a good way to put it? But yeah, so Steve's probably, yeah, just a regular guy. So you can do it either way, but I would always say, Palmer, what's up? I would always say, do the, yeah, you can barely hear it, but what they've got, Grizzly Bears, they've got filters that basically I can go in and I can find where people have used my content. So if I go to my studio, and those are easy to fix. Because, like I say, after I get finished with this one, I'll have to appeal it because it'll turn to yellow. But if I go to copyright, it shows people who have used my content. Now, I haven't done any removal requests. I haven't messaged them. But those are people that have used my content. But I know that they were using it, right? So if you ever get somebody, it's what it is BMG. It's a lot of those music companies that all they're doing is they're farming because if they can get you a copyright strike to where you can't earn revenue and you don't take it out, they earn the revenue off the video. Paul, you've had like what kind of pop-ups? Like display ads or like video ads? I got some in Metal Complex's video Friday, but I didn't hear anybody say they got in last night. But guys, it is 11:30 and we are going to slowly step out so we can go to the bathroom and get ready for Zach stuff. Not over on Big Red's page. Saturday Night Live is going to be at Zach's. It'll be a blast if I don't fall right asleep, which I won't. I'll be in there. Hope to see all of you guys in there. I'm so appreciative that y'all come and hang out. It means everything to me. I do definitely appreciate it. Um, I don't know what the status is gonna be Monday night. I know what the status is gonna be Friday night. I'll be seeing you guys then. And, until then, please look out for the bar guy to the left. Please look out for the bar guy to the right. Look out for each other, guys. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.